First of all, let me thank you all for giving this opportunity to speak my heart. And Dr. Popat has been encouraging any time and every time that there is a life beyond surgery also. And this was one of the topics which you had given long time back, and I started speaking on motivational thoughts. And to start, I would say that calmness is superpower. Most of us, the surgeons, if we learn only one art, that how to remain calm, I think most of the battle is won. Anyone and everyone can manage complications. Only thing is, it is all about finding the calm in the chaos. And I bring greetings from my Zen garden at the terrace of my house. And definitely, when I go off the work, this is the best place I can be with myself, and definitely changes the perspectives. And few Japanese words have influenced me. One is Kaizen. Kaizen is continuous improvement. One should always be a seeker, as we presented. Okitamo is acceptance without exception. I think most of the surgeons, most of us start accepting, but we always add riders to it. If this would not have done, I would have accepted. If this would have happened, I would have not have accepted. So I think the most important thing is acceptance without exception. And again, we should have a habit of gratitude, attitude of gratitude, of thanking any and everyone. And we should search for the people to thank them, so that ultimately you are spreading happiness, and that ultimately replicates to such a height nobody can imagine. And Ikigai is that one should have a sense of purpose. I am so delighted that when I come to Ahmedabad or any other place, many times many surgeons, colleagues, younger ones and senior ones, they always ask, Sunday story ho gayi kya? What I mean to say, this is a purpose. It has become my purpose that we do Sunday stories. And today I am going to spend few moments on work-life balance. Please do not think that I am a preacher. Please do not think. I am just learning. And believe me, I had gone to San Diego long time back, and I saw in Sages, and then I saw this man, and he was an Indian, and he was doing the balancing. And he was placing the stone over the stone, and ultimately this will stay on. I was always surprised that how it could be. And frankly, because he was an Indian, so I asked him that is it possible to teach me this art also? Yes, he says, why not? Are you focused? I said, yes, I am absolutely focused. I am a laparoscopic surgeon. He said, yes, go ahead, try. And what he taught that yes, carry on, focusing, and place the stone on it, and it will stay. But anytime and every time I will try, it will always fall off. The bottle will always fall off. Then he said that your focus is wrong. You should be focusing on more focus. Means, again, I will just put this video, that you should focus here rather than here. If you focus on this hand and then come down, you will be able to do it. And believe me, I was able to do it. So again, it is such a thought that you have to be focused on more focus. So whatsoever, whenever we are spending time, we should definitely know what to hold on and what to let go. And believe me, in all chaos, there is a cosmos. In all disorder, a secret order. I think most of us do not believe this, and we definitely, I would love to substantiate this presentation with again the same thought as we do in bariatric surgery or hernia surgery or laparoscopic surgery. In God we trust, all others must bring data. And in this, one can see, and this is a beautiful data in our world in data, that they have analyzed that how, as we are aging, how much time or how many hours we are spending with ourselves, how much time we are spending with partner or parents or with the co-workers. And as you would see here, that especially with the co-workers, there is a time approximately from the age of 18 to 20, and then you spend lot of time in operation theaters like this, and then gradually after the age of 60, 65, your time with co-worker decreases. But at this stage, all of us have to learn that we have to spend time, one, alone, and second, we have to spend time with our partners. I think that is most important, and COVID era has taught us especially that ultimately it is your own health that is most important. Invest in health. That is very, very important. If health is there, everything is there. Even if so much of money was lying with everyone, but they could not save so many people. But ultimately, we have to spend time with ourselves and with our partner. And as you see in this graph also, that as we start aging, the time spent with children also vanishes off. And we call this as empty nest syndrome. Any surgeon, any doctor we always talk to, we always hear this. Both of my sons are in US. One is in San Francisco, another is in New York. My daughter is here, my daughter is there. So what I mean to say that ultimately only two people are left behind, and that is called as empty nest syndrome. So if you want to be happy, please share those moments with the children, because the children will fly off and they will obviously, they have the right to start their own family. Again, time spent with parents. Most of us repent at the later time that we did not spend much time with the parents. So our thinking is definitely as we age, if we spend time with our parents, our children are also going to spend time with us. That is very well. Being a selfish man, I would say that they will also learn this, that we have to spend time with our parents so that they also spend time with us. And then ultimately, if we, many times on the Facebook also, many people ask me that how could it be that after the COVID era, you have learned that you are always taking photographs with your partner. My thinking is, we have realized that ultimately family first. This is very, very important. Anything and everything will last, but family has to be there, and both the partners have to be healthy. Then only you can enjoy life. Then only you can be happy throughout your life. And again, as I mentioned, this time with your children is very short. The magic years will fly off if you let them. So most important is that be with the children. Frankly, last October only we were there in California, and I was telling Dr. Khuller also on the way that we were so happy from within that initially we used to take our children and then tell them that you should not miss this, you should not miss this beach, or you should not miss this restaurant. But this time it was absolutely other way around. The children were taking us anywhere and everywhere, and they wanted that we should not miss a single beach, we should be everywhere, we should not miss any dish of vegetarian food in US also. So thinking is that yes, the time spent with friends is also very important. And believe me, as all of us know, and I have been projecting also, Dr. Aras Chaudhary and me, we always talk early for a few minutes every morning, otherwise we are constipated. And again, our thoughts are that ultimately embrace friendship breadth, but focus on depth. We talk for a few minutes, but it has so much of depth. And honestly speaking, Dr. Khandelwal, there will be limited number of people in your life or anybody's life whom you can call yourself as friends, who have been with you in good times as well as in bad times. You can always count them on fingers. And ultimately, I think that matters the most, that you are able to express without thinking that yes, he is my friend, and we should definitely tell ourselves, and that lightens us. And again, the feeling comes as we start aging, and that there is a golden Buddha inside you. That means the happiness lies within, the enemy also lies within. Most of us start forgetting, and we become our own enemies. We start having thoughts of limits. Why should we have limited thoughts? Our thinking is that happiness lies within, enemy lies within. So we should spend time with ourselves also, and then we should introspect that are we doing the right thing or not. And ultimately, definitely, if you cannot go outside, go inside. I think that was the lesson which all of us have learnt in COVID times also. So love yourself And if you love yourself, then only you will be able to love others also. And again, especially for my younger colleagues, I would urge you to read books. And many times I always get the answer from, especially from my senior colleagues, oh no, where is the time? I don't find any time to read books. And our answer is, Bill Gates finishes one book per week. If he is busy or if you are busy, you have to judge. So what I mean to say, that if you make an inkling that you have to finish one book, not in 1 week, maybe in 1 month, that will definitely make a difference. And I would especially tell my younger colleagues that Robert Sarfolio is a robotic thoracic surgeon. He came to Gangaram Hospital also. And can you imagine that he had written this book of super performing at work and at home. He is the best robotic thoracoscopic surgeon. And at that time, his wife had developed the CA breast, and ultimately she died. His 3 sons were the baseball players, and in this book he starts writing the surgical career himself, about managing the disease of his wife, and then managing 3 sons who have become the baseball champions in US. So our thinking is that super performance at pressure. Ultimately, all of us have learned, I would say that all of us have learned that under pressure we perform better. So we should know how to remain calm and how to perform the best in under pressure, and then only will be able to lead a contented or happy life. Again, this is a nurse from Australia, and she had interviewed so many people who were dying in the dying home, and then she found out that most of the people did not have the regrets that they don't have the car, they don't have the house, they don't have this amenity. They had the definitely 5 regrets of the dying. It was the common regrets of all the people, that they did not spend time with their family. They could not. Can you imagine? You know it and I know it. Dr. Bhatia was very close to us. And I asked, and in one of the Lifetime Achievement Awards, he was asked that what is the regret of your life. He also mentioned that I could not spend time with my children. So they grew up so fast. So ultimately our thinking is that we should not have that kind of thought. Dr. B.S. Rana was my boss in MEMC, Maulana Azad Medical College, and in surgery and later on. But believe me, he taught me surgery, but he's taught me how to live life. What I mean to say, he taught us values. And most important value which I learned from him was respond, but never react. And again, the best fighter is never angry. If we start believing on that, many times, many of us start reacting. And once the cystic artery retracts, and then we injure the CBD also, we injure the right hepatic artery also, and we injure everything. But if we respond and if we don't react, if we are calm and if the calmness is within, we are not going to have a cascade of events. So again and again, whenever I am doing, especially I am doing some difficult, challenging surgery, I carry on reinforcing in my mind, respond, but don't react. Calmness is superpower. Calmness is superpower. And ultimately, we are able to scale through all the difficult. And then, this is the response to the stress is more important than the stress itself. Most of us, if we learn this art, that ultimately it is within us that we will be able to respond. If we are not learning this, definitely we are going to face more stress in the coming days. And many times, all of us must have realized by this time that lot of things do not react, do not even require any reactions. Only thing is, carry on moving. I always say that even if you are going through hell, keep moving, because that is the only way you will come out. So keep moving. Moving on is the only thing which is required. And this is Dr. J.P. Singh. I always pay respect to my teachers. He was my professor in RML Hospital, under whom I did the thesis. And then his office, you can see there was a board and it was written, "This too shall pass away." I think any challenge, if it is going to come, it is going to go also. So if you have that kind of philosophy, if you have this kind of thought that this too shall pass away, the good times will also pass away, the bad times will also pass away, and then you are definitely contented and you are able to do the maximum. Again and again, I always say that yes, one should do the energy audit. Means, for example, many times many surgeons ask me, how is it possible that managing Bhatia Global Hospital and Sir Gangaram Hospital and still you are getting up at 4 a.m. every morning and then operating throughout 7 days. And then I say that the time between waking up and getting up should be 0. Means I get up at 3:59 and I am up the bed rather than tossing into the bed again and again. So that makes a difference. So if we are getting up at 4 a.m. and then doing the weightlifting every day and then going to Gurudwara or going for morning walk for approximately 40 minutes every day, that keeps you going because of the endorphins which are being released, and that keeps you happy from within also. And recently I had a one-to-one interview with Sadhguruji also in IGS meeting, and in this also I have been following him for long. He always says ultimately life is neither suffering nor bliss, it is what you make it. It is, you are responsible for what you have. You wanted to take the photograph. Yes, go ahead. You are responsible for what you have and you are responsible for what you don't have. I think if this comes to our mind, definitely it changes the total perspective. And many times a split second becomes eternal. Whenever my fellows are in Gangaram Hospital, for example, they are doing laparoscopic cholecystectomy, and if I find that mobile phone is ringing and they are answering on the phone, I always tell them, go out, get out, please. Please get out and then do the phone call. Don't come into the theater. What I mean to say is that distractions lead to disasters. A split second becomes eternal. If you are working too close to the common bile duct, if it harmonic or monopolar hook or anything touches the common bile duct, and you also do not come to know even that you have caused some injury, and that split second in the life of a patient will become an eternal biliary cripple. So again and again, we emphasize that small split seconds are very, very important. So celebrate every moment also and live every moment so that we have the best possible result. And again, I would urge especially my learned colleagues to go and find out this book of Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And he has written it beautifully. Even if you read 10 times, you will learn more and more every time you are reading this book. So Power of Now, believe on that anything which has to be done, it has to be done now. And if, for example, Dr. K.C. Mahajan, Dr. Khullar was also trained by Dr. K.C. Mahajan in Gangaram Hospital also. And he always used to say that if you are interested in doing anything, do it now. If you are not interested, it will never be done. So our thinking is, yes, one should believe on power of one and power of now and never ever give up. This is me inside the mouth of the stork and trying my best to put the hands across the neck of the stork so that ultimately wishing that I should dance and the stork should be dead. So never ever give up, carry on moving. And can we have the mic on this?
Yes,
Are you excited?
yes, very much.
Are you a little bit nervous?
No, not at all. This is my third time.
Third time, all right. Sounds good. You have a message for your family and friends?
Yeah, message is life has to be lived once. Live it.
This is the video clipping, small video clipping of my skydiving. This is for me, bell is for me. Right, right, I will just stop. And believe me that at this age also I could do the skydiving in New Zealand, in San Diego and Florida, and thoroughly enjoyed it. So ultimately age is nothing but a number. I honestly feel that age is nothing but a number, and we should carry on following our passions, and it definitely makes a difference. Now you see that it is a tandem ride. And as soon as you fall, for the first few seconds, you are never sure what are you doing, why are you doing this. But after the parachutes open, and there are 2 parachutes which are opening, so once the parachutes open, then you are absolutely under control and you enjoy every bit of it. And many times I am asked that how could you were not afraid of skydiving. And because I was believing on the mentor, because I was believing on him, and he told us that you have to land on your feet in this position rather than in a flexing position. If you flex your legs, then you are going to injure your spine as well as your legs. But if you are just landing on your feet, now you see, it was, and with the audio it would have been absolutely fantastic, but it's fine. And as soon as you land, you open your legs and land on your foot so that ultimately you don't get injured. And he asked me, this mentor or the rider, he asked me, are you going to do it again? I said yes. And my son also asked me, are you going to do this again? I said yes. And then he showed me so many videos in which so many accidents had also occurred. And again he asked me, are you going to do it again? I said yes. And I went to San Diego and then I did it again. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. God bless you all.
Thank you, Bhatia ji. It was a wonderful lecture.